This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Our top story, President Trump's first address to a joint session of Congress.
Tonight's speech sets the stage for his budget priorities and the course of the nation in the year ahead. ABC's Lana Zach is at the Capitol with more. Lana?
Good evening. The president is expected to start off with a message of unity. For their part, Democrats promise to be respectful of the president as both sides gather for this important speech.
For the first time in 8 years, a Republican president will address Congress. The tremendous potential not lost on the leadership of the Republican-led Senate and House chambers.
We are excited to welcome President Trump to the Capitol tonight, and we expect him to deliver a bold, optimistic message to the American people.
But there are questions about how unified the Grand Old Party is heading into this speech. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham delivering the president a pre-speech message: don't value expediency over history.
Mr. President, stick to your guns. We're going to be judged by what we do, not how quickly we do it.
While other Republicans are questioning how President Trump intends to pay for his proposals, particularly the replacement for Obamacare.
Coming in as a Republican president with a net tax increase and a federal new entitlement program, right, that's your first big move, and then we got to do tax reform after that in the Republican conference. Good luck.
President Trump expected to ask Congress to make major cuts to things like foreign aid and the Environmental Protection Agency. Those funds are being redirected to military spending, boosting it by 10%. But on top of that, the president has called for a $1 trillion investment in infrastructure and a massive border wall. Congress has not yet been presented with details on how that will be funded. Those issues are a likely focus of the Democrats' response. So-called dreamer and immigration activist Astrid Silva will join former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear in giving the Democratic response.
For his part, the president says he sees this as an opportunity to persuade not only Congress but the American public. Asked earlier how he would grade his new administration, he said he gets an A+ for effort, but a C in terms of messaging. Reporting live from the nation's capital, Lana Zach, ABC News. Back to you.
All right, Lana, thank you. Two people with ties to the Pulse nightclub massacre in Orlando are attending President Trump's speech tonight. A woman whose son died during the mass shooting is the guest of U.S. Representative Val Demings. And a hospital surgeon who saved the lives of Pulse victims is the guest of U.S. Representative Stephanie Murphy. Both congresswomen are freshman Democrats from the Orlando area. 49 people were killed and dozens more injured during the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history last June. Both attendees have championed for gun law reforms and more research on gun violence.
A local presidential author says he will be looking for a number of issues to be addressed in tonight's speech. Sarasota-based writer Mark Weston has written several books, including The Runner-Up Presidency. Weston says he's curious to hear if President Trump will initiate any new foreign policies or use the word repeal when it comes to Obamacare. Either way, Weston doesn't expect a long speech.
I think he'll stick to the teleprompter. I don't think you're going to see much ad-libbing tonight. And I think because he's sticking to a teleprompter, it won't be a 50 or 55-minute speech as Obama or Clinton gave. I think it's going to be one of the shortest presidential speeches to Congress ever, 25 or 30 minutes.
Weston says the presidential addresses to Congress used to be written until President Woodrow Wilson came to the Capitol to give an address in person 100 years ago.
The mayor of Venice is in Washington, D.C. this week to lobby for federal funding and top priorities for the city. Mayor John Hollick is meeting with staff working for Congressman Tom Rooney and Senators Marco Rubio and Bill Nelson. He also plans to lobby for funding for beach renourishment and preservation, as well as $500,000 for a multi-use trail in the city. Hollick will also ask for help from the Department of Veterans Affairs to find ways to reduce homelessness in the city and treat mental illness.
In just a few weeks, voters on the Suncoast will take part in an election. The municipal elections will take place on Tuesday, March 14th. Voters in the cities of Sarasota and Northport and the town of Longboat Key will be electing local commissioners, and in the case of Longboat Key, deciding on 2 ballot questions. Early voting will be available starting on March 6th through the 11th in both Sarasota and Manatee counties.
Let's check on our weather right now. A warm day on the Suncoast yet again. Here's Bob Harrigan with more. Bob?
Yeah, spring training has turned into summer training, I think, for some. Temperatures today into the upper 80s in cases across parts of west central Florida. Right now, it's cooled a little bit because of a sea breeze, but still warm. 78 in Sarasota, 84 now in Orlando. You can see temperatures still in the mid 80s from Parrish to Mayaca City to Wauchula right now, and Temperatures right along the coastline, mid-70s from Anna Maria all the way down into Inglewood. Northport, you're at 79 degrees, and Lakewood Ranch at 81. Currently at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, it's 79 or 78 now. It's dropped a degree. Mostly sunny skies. The dew point temperature at 67. Winds out of the west-southwest at 9. And the pressure 30-17. That's still high. And this high-pressure ridge will remain in control again overnight and tomorrow. There is a storm system that is developing which will eventually sweep a front our way and will bring some changes. We'll talk about those changes in just a few minutes, but tonight we will have the possibility of some fog forming, and it could be rather thick in some areas to start things off on Wednesday morning. Well, more on that cold front just in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. New developments tonight involving a 2015 murder case in Sarasota. 22-year-old DeAndrew Clarkson of Tampa has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Daniel Ortiz in Sarasota. In September of 2015, police were called to a car crash. When they arrived, they found Ortiz suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Witnesses told detectives Clarkson and Ortiz had been fighting over drugs. For the past 2 years, investigators have been working with the state attorney's office to solve this case.
One of the 6 men arrested for allegedly exposing themselves at Casperson Beach Park in Venice holds a prestigious title. Stephen Gergatz, the honorary counsel for the Hungarian consulate, was among those arrested in the sting. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says an undercover deputy found Gergatz laying in a hammock, completely undressed and in plain sight of beachgoers. Sheriff's deputies say the park is likely a hot spot for illegal activity because it's set back.
You know, if you're engaging in unlawful conduct, and especially when it affects others, you know, you're going to be held, you know, to those consequences for your behavior.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll take a closer look at how often these types of incidents are happening at Casperson Beach Park and what's being done about the problem.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now in the studio. And Richard, let's find out, was 13 a lucky number or maybe an unlucky number on Wall Street today?
Well, Scott, I'm afraid it was an unlucky number. For those of you who follow us regularly, you know that the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been up for 12 consecutive trading days, but 13 was not to be the case, although the loss for the day very, very small. Looking back at the month of February, in the entire month, there were only 4 down days for both the Dow Jones Industrial Average and for the S&P 500. And looking at what Mr. Trump might say tonight, let's remember that since the 8th of November, when he was elected, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up by an amazing 2,500 points. Well, saying that, let's see how we did today. And the loss was really very slight, but it is a loss nonetheless. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closing at 20,812.24, a loss of 25.20, 0.12% on volume of 647 million shares. The NASDAQ was the biggest loser of the day, and it was only down by 0.6%, down 36 points, closing at 5,825.44. That on volume of 1,509 million shares. And the S&P makes it a clean sweep for the down arrows, down 0.25%, down 6 points, closing at 2,363.64. Well, call it Target, call it Target. I call it a company in big trouble. Target today announced lower same-store sales for the 6th consecutive quarter. They said the current quarter is not doing very well either, and their expectations for all of 2017 not very good. How do you define not very good? How about a 12% drop in the price of the stock in one day? Yes, that's the case. And by the way, the CEO of Target said, and I quote, rapidly changing consumer behavior. I think you translate that as Amazon. In any event, all the brick and mortar stores have been struggling. Retail's been a problem. Amazon's been great. And we'll see where it goes from here. But certainly Target is a company that needs to kind of turn things around.
And not because of a lack of me shopping there.
Oh, that's good.
I am helping keep them in business.
Good.
And Richard, news on Priceline.
And that's very positive news. So it's not all necessarily whether you're online or offline, but they're certainly online, and their stock was up dramatically today. And they said that their revenues are up by 17%. Not bad at all.
Wow. All right.
Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Start a new streak tomorrow, maybe.
We'll work on it.
Okay. Still to come in your Suncoast News, another devastating accident at a Mardi Gras parade. A car plowing into a marching band. What police are saying about the driver responsible.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. And then later in Health Smart, getting rid of chronic pain, the one thing you can do to get relief from the aches and pains. And it's pretty simple. That's straight ahead in Health Smart.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's the granddaddy of them all, the 89th Annual Arcadia All-Florida Championship Rodeo. March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, the Arcadia Rodeo Association is proud to present this PRCA-sanctioned event featuring some of the world's best bull, bronc, and bareback riding, roping, barrel racing, and steer wrestling. For the little wranglers, there's a calf scramble and mutton busting. Gates open at 11 each day. For tickets, visit arcadiarodeo.com or call 800-749-7633. It's rodeo at its finest. Don't miss the 89th All-Florida Championship Rodeo, March 9th through 12th.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Now to a developing story on the Alabama Gulf Coast.
In Gulf Shores, which is near the Florida-Alabama line, police say an elderly man drove into a crowd of people at a Mardi Gras parade. A 73-year-old man who was participating in the parade reportedly drove his SUV into the back of a marching band as they were starting the Fat Tuesday parade this morning. 12 band members ranging in age from 12 to 17 were hurt, 4 of them critically. Paramedics immediately rushed to the victims to help.
The parade had started, and we're number 2 in line, and you know it's going to be a great Mardi Gras day, and I see a vehicle just going into the crowd, and I couldn't believe my eyes, and then I saw it in the air, and the wheels were still spinning, and I just stopped and ran.
Awful. Police say there's no indication that the driver was under the influence or that it was intentional. The parade was canceled immediately after the accident.
The accident there in Gulf Shores comes just 4 days after a similar situation in New Orleans. On Saturday night, police say a man drove a pickup truck into a Mardi Gras parade crowd, injuring 28 people. All are expected to survive. Police say the driver had a blood alcohol level almost 3 times the legal limit. He's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree vehicular negligence resulting in injury and 2 other charges. But today, revelers in the Big Easy are not letting that accident spoil the party. This is a live look at Fat Tuesday celebrations, officially in full swing now. Tens of thousands of people are out on the streets of the French Quarter with parades rolling all day and night long. Nearly 1.5 million people typically show up in New Orleans to let the good times roll, and then some.
It's always a party in New Orleans, but Fat Tuesday is like on steroids, yeah.
Looking for beads.
Yep.
You can actually follow it on the internet doing live streaming. You know, I've done that before. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I've never been there in New Orleans at all.
Ever?
Yeah,
Oh,
we were going to go like a week prior to Katrina. And then obviously Katrina occurred.
Right.
But, anyway, the weather looks good for Fat Tuesday and the celebrations there right now. Albeit on the warm side, we can see Van Wezel webcam showing lots of sunshine today, although we had the clouds and fog this morning. Those quickly burn off, and we saw a pretty decent day today, albeit on the warm side. Again, here's the headlines as they read for the next several days. Mid-80s again on Wednesday, approaching near 90 degrees inland areas, and then we'll see a weak cold front arrive late Thursday, bringing with it a very slight chance for a few passing showers. And then slightly cooler temperatures are on the way. We'll still be above average, it appears, a couple degrees. It will be windy, though. We're looking for breezy conditions, especially on Friday and Saturday. The storm system really isn't developed yet, but it's getting its act together associated with this fast-moving cloudiness that you see right there. A low-pressure area will develop and eventually move off toward the northeast, sweeping a cold front our way late Thursday. Now, as far as the visible satellite imagery goes, you can see that low cloudiness and fog around this morning, moving off and shifting to the northwest. And now, lots of sunshine out there, clear skies for the most part. We just had some fair weather cumulus clouds. With temperatures approaching 90 and the sea breeze developing, certainly there could be some storms. And sure enough, there's one popping up right there as the sea breeze develops. And Storm Tracker indicating there may be some hail, but I doubt it. I don't think we're going to see any hail with this. Temperature is just too warm right now. But you can see some rainfall near Rye Road and County Road 675 into Manatee County east of the interstate. And that is not moving all that much, but it is drifting off to the northwest. So a few spotty inland storms are possible over the next couple of hours. 78 right now at Sarasota, Braden at 81. And in Venice, out at the end of the pier there, it's 75 degrees and just a few clouds around. As far as temperatures go right now, mid to lower 70s from Holmes Beach. Whitney Beach at 74. It's 76 now into Longboat Key, though 80 into East Bradenton, 79 at Laurel Oak, 78 in Osprey, and 84 degrees in Plantation Golf and Country Club there. Northport, you're at 85. And notice the difference right there in Inglewood, 77 with that west wind coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, keeping things a bit cooler. Tomorrow, we approach the low 80s near the beaches, mid 80s inland, and lots of sunshine after that fog burns off again tomorrow. So no big changes on Wednesday. We start to see a little bit of a transition beginning on Thursday morning, but then by Thursday late afternoon, some clouds and a chance for a few spotty showers with this system. Also the potential for severe weather expected across parts of the central U.S. from Missouri, Illinois. You can see some big storms starting to break out now near Chicago. There are tornado watches out for this immediate area. You can see it from all of Illinois now, northwest sections of Indiana, southern portions of Missouri. It does include St. Louis. You see all these yellow spots. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but the area in red is a tornado watch. And as far as the storms go, there's not a lot to them right now, but more rough weather can be anticipated tomorrow in southern Ohio, West Virginia, and in Kentucky and Tennessee. Notice the snowfall, not much going on there. And get a look at this. Chicago about to make history as they get through tonight. No snow on the ground since for January and February. We told you this last night at 11 o'clock, and this is a record for 146 years. They've been keeping records there, and it looks like they're going to break it. 59 degrees in Chicago right now, 74 in St. Louis, 15 in North Dakota right now in Minot, 52 degrees in Albuquerque. Cleveland, you're at 59 and 46 in Toronto. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the south to southwest. Should be okay. Light chop in the bays and inland waters, and the water temperature still in the low 70s. Upcoming tide, a low tide will be at 822 and a high tide at 150. Some fog tonight developing, and that fog in the morning burning off, mostly sunny, 84. And then the front comes through late Thursday. Still warm on Thursday. And notice we cooled down a little bit. 74 for a high on Friday. That's right at the average. And then 76 on Saturday. Pretty good weekend ahead. Scott?
Looks good. Thank you, Bob. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, traffic is backed up at this hour on US 41. This is both the north and southbound lanes right near Fruitville Road in downtown Sarasota. Slow going there. Now, just north of the Suncoast, traffic slow going on I-75 heading north because of this fiery crash. One of our viewers, Yvonne Morgan, sent us the video of an accident near the Gibsonton exit around 2:30. An RV apparently became fully engulfed in flames, and drivers may still be diverted off the interstate, according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Fortunately, no one was hurt in that fire, but drivers are asked to avoid that area. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In Health News tonight, if you have chronic pain, just keep moving. A small study published in the journal Pain found older adults who are physically active may have a lower risk of chronic pain, which affects about 25 million Americans. In both tests, one that measured pain's production and another that assessed pain reduction in response to stimuli, pain levels were directly associated to participants' physical activity level. Particularly, adults who exercised moderately or vigorously had less pain, and those who exercised at all were better able to block that pain. Moms do not need a study to prove this, but researchers have found having children affects women's sleep. And a finding surely to frustrate women, the study by Georgia Southern University showed men's sleep quality was not affected by having children living in the home. For women under the age of 45, researchers found having children was the only factor linked with getting sufficient sleep. With each child in the household, a mother has increased odds of sleep deprivation by about 50%. Men who are heavy drinkers may be increasing their risk for heart damage over time. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association shows they're more likely to have stiff walls in the arteries that supply the blood to the heart, an important measure of heart disease risk. In the study, all groups saw an increase in artery stiffness over time, but heavy drinking men, the only group to experience a significantly accelerated change. Stiff-walled arteries are strongly related to high blood pressure and coronary artery disease. Coming up, a plane crashes into a California neighborhood and bursts into flames, how the two survivors are doing, and the latest on the investigation. Plus, a rescue mission at a hotel, why lifeguards were called in to help guests who were in trouble. Those stories straight ahead.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Attention sleep apnea sufferers. If you use CPAP therapy, if you have private insurance, or you're on a Medicare replacement plan, we may be able to help you get your CPAP supplies at little or no cost to you and free shipping. Most insurance companies allow a patient to get a new CPAP mask, cushion, filter, and tubing every 3 to 6 months to prevent respiratory infection and skin sores.
That's why you should call Americare CPAP. Call 800-423-5457. That's 800-423-5457.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
If you want to rediscover the smooth, radiant skin of your past, consider a facelift, eyelid lift, or laser resurfacing from Faces by Feza. Restore your natural, youthful appearance and the confidence that goes with it when you trust your face to the expert hands of Dr. John Feza. Using a delicate touch, he gives you natural-looking contours, a clean jawline, and long-lasting results. Call today to schedule a private consultation, because when you look good, you feel good. Faces by Feza at Center for Sight.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Two survivors of a horrifying plane crash are fighting to stay alive in California tonight. The moment of the crash caught on camera. You saw it there. The small plane fell out of the sky yesterday, crashing into two homes in Riverside, California, sparking a fireball. Investigators say the aircraft broke in half upon impact, and it's believed 5 people were on the plane returning from a cheerleading competition at Disneyland. A man, woman, and teenager were killed, but 2 women somehow survived.
I heard a big loud boom. I looked outside my window and I turned and it was flames in the air, everything.
We see this lady, she was crawling. Half of her clothes was on fire and she was like, I need help, I need help.
Paramedics rushed the victims to the hospital in critical condition. No one in the homes was hurt. Authorities say the plane was headed back to the San Jose area. Investigators now trying to figure out what went wrong. Crews in northern New Jersey are working to repair a water main break that created a massive hole. A roadway in the heart of Hoboken collapsed and completely swallowed up an SUV. The vehicle was eventually pulled out of that hole and no one was hurt. It's unclear when crews will be finished repairing this large break. This is the second water main break in Hoboken this month and the third this year.
In San Diego, California, a rescue operation at a hotel. Dozens of guests had to be rescued after the hotel lost power and became surrounded by fast-moving floodwater. The water around the Premier Inn in Mission Valley wasn't very deep, but it was moving so quickly that authorities were concerned the guests would not be able to cross safely to get to higher ground. Lifeguards used rafts to take the guests through the water to safety. A Tennessee man found a way to make his marriage proposal memorable, and it involved local authorities. Greg Morris was driving his girlfriend through rural Tennessee when he was pulled over by sheriff's deputies. They let him off with a warning, but his girlfriend, Brooklyn, wasn't so lucky. The cops said she was under arrest for failing to pay a past citation. But as soon as the handcuffs came out, so did the ring. Turns out the whole thing was a prank set up by Morris. Okay, y'all are going to have to come up with some more creative. Because how many times have we had this same scenario?
That one?
That one.
Yeah.
The pulled over, but really we're getting engaged. I think we need a new.
Well, she liked it, apparently.
She liked it, I mean, it is pretty shocking because you don't think that's what's going to happen.
Right, yeah.
So they're surprised. I guess we're just not surprised because we keep seeing it over.
We've read these stories before. Yeah.
But congratulations either way. Still to come on your Suncoast News, grabbing an ice cream and helping a good cause at the same time. What a Bradenton Dairy Queen is doing to help a certain group of people.
Plus, enjoying Siesta Beach without the hassle of all the traffic or parking when you can catch a ride on one of 3 new trolleys. That story ahead.
We consider the first 60 minutes the golden hour, the time that we can do the most to affect how a patient's going to do. I think what motivates all of us is that at the other end of it, we see them, smiling and happy and going back to their families. That's our greatest satisfaction. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is just an amazing place to take care of people.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Datoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Datoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction. Spend time choosing from exciting colors, textures, and accessories, and then collaborate with one of our expert designers to create the perfect custom storage solution to fit your style and budget. At California Closets, we design everything to exceed your expectations for any room in your home. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the nearest showroom to you. California Closets, designed to your life.